Welcome to LATTC Architecture GIS Final Projects. This is video number 2. This is to help students generate workforce and economic development maps for higher education so we can act more agile and serve our communities in a more efficient and transparent way. As we open ArcGIS, we can see that you can actually open a recent map that we made, like for example we did LATTC council districts, or you can just open other ones from before. So I'm going to open the last one. Or you can also open from your directory that in the previous video we said you got to make sure that you're working from a local directory. You don't want to be working from your external, right? So from your local directory, we organize this database so all your maps are actually here. So the one that you just saw me open it, I open it from the maps. So you can open it from the software, right? Notice how this is called LATTC Council Districts. Or you can open it from this folder called Maps. So notice how your Geodatabase is organized with the same taxonomy. They call these architecture knowledge management. We divide it by ecology, water, air, soil and energy, economy, education, and the built environment, right? So you could also open it from here. Again, notice how I am working from a local drive. Do not work from an external drive. So on this map specifically can be one of the maps that has to do with how do we govern. Here under education, what you're looking at right now is educational providers. You have here by colleges, that's trade tech. And you have buffers. What is a buffer? A buffer is going to be a circle or a polygon that is telling you the distance between a given point, like trade tech, and that circle. So here is showing us 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles around trade tech. And then it's also showing us, so let's minimize these. Right, that's educational providers, and it's also telling us under the environment government boundaries. So under government boundaries you have neighborhood councils, which here you can see is ghosted. For some reason the data is not in your directory, it's called ghosted. But I do have LA City Council districts. These are all the council members that govern the city of LA. And then what you can do here is actually change. Notice how there's too many pinks, that's trade tech. I would like to highlight this council district. Right now it's called Council District 9, but this is an old file because right now Council District 9 stops here. It doesn't stop here anymore. The river is right here, so this district used to touch the river. Now it doesn't. But anyways, I can still make a nice map about trade tech, 2 miles and 5 miles, and see, look at all the council districts. You basically have 3 council districts that are 1 mile away from trade tech. So you can do it a few ways. You want to basically find out, in this case, you can go with I for identify and find out what council district is this one. There we go. So that's Jan Perry. As I guess this is probably 5 years old, and it is considered District 9. So I want to identify so the president of Trade Tech and our students know who is our council member. The beauty of GIS is that these are all called properties. So here you can add information like when was the last time that Jan Perry came and visited us? When was the last time that this district got funded for homeless? So here we can customize information about that council district that pertains to trade tech. So one way I'm going to do here, so now that I identified this one, So it's kind of interesting here. There's District 9. Notice how here we have it under District 9. We can make it have no color and apply. But notice how basically here when I notice in these numbers, notice here it's telling me District 9. So there's a lack of correspondence between the color of the district, the information of my database, and then how I have it here in my, these are called like your table of contents. So what I'm thinking is that when you look at here, you go right click, open attribute tables, and notice here how we have different, these are called records, and these are called fields. These are fields, council district. And what I'm thinking is that we chose council district. And what we should choose is this district because there's multiple ways to organize the districts. It could be by different nomenclature. I don't know what these two fields mean, but I do know that this is the way we vote. So what the mistake we made here in this is that we identify these polygons that I honestly don't know what they mean. So what I need to go is go back here, and instead of having a value field, these are called value fields. So the more value fields that you have about a record, the more information you have. So I want to change this to what? To district, right? So unique values, this is all under the layer properties. And I'm going to say unique values. I'm going to add all the values. And notice now it makes more sense. It's exactly the information because basically these polygons represent the way we vote, right? So now I can close this one. And now here I can identify 9. And I'm going to make that one transparent, no color. But I want to make it red because that's the council district for trade tech. That's it. See, by just changing the polygon, just changing. So, yeah, I think that's good. Make it, yeah, that's red. Okay. Now, notice how this whole is kind of transparent. Do you see how it's kind of like it's not too dark? So what it could be is that here under your display, you have 50%. It means that for some reason we wanted not to make it look too strong. That's why maps are pieces of art at the end, right? And the reason probably we made it transparent is we could see, notice how this layer is covering the buffers for education. So let's see if we refresh it. But even if we refresh it, that's why we have it transparent, because we couldn't see the buffers around trade tech, right? So we can go back and then we make it again transparent because we want to see the relationship between distances. That's trade tech, that's council district 9, and these are all the different districts. Now you can choose, that's what I'm saying, all of you guys can choose to make this map and it can look totally different. You can say, you know what, that is almost way too close to this other council district. This is kind of very important. This used to do, you know, back as again, this is all data. So this council district is important too. So I'm going to choose that one, which I'm seeing here is council district 1, right? And I'm going to also make that one transparent. And I'm going to make that one also too, but I'm going to make that one green. I'm going to make that one green, right? And then I'm going to choose this one, and this is district 8. So I'll go back here under 8. And I'll make this one also transparent. I will also make it 2. And now let's make that one blue. Now, this is very common by politicians to say, so who are the, that's why we call these government boundaries, because these are people that govern our city. And this is just one map, as simple as that. You will make a map And how will we call this map? So you're going to go here under view, layout view, and how would you call this map? I will probably call this map council members, around LATTC council members. Apply, okay, and then I will probably insert a legend, and basically the legend will be, here you can see government boundaries, city council districts. See how you have that? So I don't want the county in the legend. I don't want trade tech. I don't want the miles, because I already have the miles right here under the legend. I just want them to know that these polygons are my council district, and I'm gonna go next. Next, just take the default, and that basically is your legend. And you can just, for example, this legend you delete, and you gotta organize it, you know, what will be. So here, what is kind of interesting, what we might want to do here is probably move these a little bit to the right, and then move the legend here. So you gotta make it look easily read. Okay, and then what we might want to do, I'm thinking here under the LA City Council District, that we should label the features, right? So when we label the features, it will tell us the number of the council district. So how do you do that? You right click, you go to properties, you go here under labels, and then here it will tell you the council member, or it will tell you the district by numbers, which are the polygons that determine the people that can vote for that, or basically the polygon where that council member is responsible for. So council member 9 is responsible for people that live in this area. So we're gonna say apply, okay. And then now when I go right click, I'm gonna label it. And notice that when you label it, now they all have a number right here. See, do you see? They all have a number. So then this is the important part. Now here you're gonna go, now that I have my layout, I'm gonna go, you can export the map. And here you can export it as a JPEG, or you can export it as a PDF file. Notice here, it's a good idea to export it as both. And here are all the different maps that we have made through the semester. So you guys, actually, I'm gonna give you guys all of these, so you guys can study them. We did all of these together, and I don't mind if you take credit for some of these, especially if you were paying attention like Millicent, all right? So here, council districts, final maps for exhibit. Just remember that I have it under Spring 2014, 341, final maps for exhibit. Save it. Now this is very important, the resolution. If you want to make a big map, you want it to have at least 600 dpi, meaning that you want it with a good resolution, because eventually we could make a big poster. And you save it. So here you're saving a JPEG, but let's say that now you want to save the way you organize your layers. So now you gotta go save as, and you want to save these. Notice here this is under GIS 3 maps. You want to save it that way, or you want to save it locally here, Spring GIS, final maps for exhibit, maps. See, and here we're going to LATTC and council districts. See, here I have farmers markets, land use, city college, and I'm going to go save. So here I'm saving the skeleton. And then I also want to save it as a PDF file. Say export it again. So there's 3 ways I'm saving. Here I'm going to go PDF, right? So you save it as a JPEG, you save it as a PDF file, and then you save the skeleton. And here also the resolution. So you want to do at least 600 in case you ever want to print a big poster. Now you can type it or you can just do it the way I'm doing it. And then you're going to go save. And that's basically it. Then now you can go back to, now you could choose, because this might be, you could choose to actually zoom in more around trade tech when you're making your map. So you can go here, see, that's trade tech. So if you don't want to show the entire city under your layout, you can decide, you could actually zoom in. Now if you want to zoom in to show more, I think you do it here. Yeah, there you go, see? That's what I'm saying. Even if 10 of you guys choose the same map, this is a totally different map, right? Because you are looking at different scales. So if you want to save this as a, again, then you will, so you will go here again, export, right? And then you can call these 1 mile. Right? And then you will export, and now you want it as a JPEG, and then 1 mile. Because scale is very important. It shows you something completely different. That's why they say the biggest mysteries of the universe is scale, right? When you're looking at the whole city, you see certain things than when you're looking at things very close. So you as designers and technicians, you got to choose how you want to look at things, at a big scale or a small scale. It depends on the problem. That will be problem driven. So if you want to look at all the street vendors around trade tech that sell orange juice, you might want to look at it very small. But if you want to look at all the rivers in connections to all the high school, you might want to look at the entire city. So it's depending what you want to look at. So this concludes map number 1 for your final exam. Thank you.